Yo, what's good, YouTube? Sam Crow here, aka Scoot. Bear with me a little bit. I'm a little under the weather, a little bit sick, um, but nonetheless, we're back with the International Trainers League, Season 5. Um, we did finish 13 weeks, and we're in the playoffs. We had our um, quarterfinals match last week against Nick. Obviously, we won, and we are here in the semifinals against Akki, a player that we have played once this regular season, multiple times over the course of our knowing of each other. We did come around or come away with a narrow victory in our Week 7 match, and we're bringing a little bit different approach. I'll talk about that in a second, but we're here facing Akki, who earned a first round bye right above us as conference leaders, and now it's just us two going at it again to see who will go to the finals and play the winner of Gypsy King and Sheer Force Trevor. So that being said, we'll go over the teams here real quick. He has a team consisting of Kyurem-B, which is a Z move user, Excadrill, Tapu Fini, Roserade, Arcanine, Conkeldurr, Snorlax, Heliolisk, Mismagius, Gigalith, and Mesprit. And as always, we have Victini, Manaphy, Shaymin, Zapdos, Cofagrigus, Nidoqueen, Florges, Lucario, Sneasel, Druddigon, and Oranguru, where Lucario is our Z Crystal potential. Now, like I said, they are Z Crystal potentials. They don't have to carry a Z move. They can. I don't bring Lucario, but he does bring Kyurem-B, which could have the Z Crystal, which is pretty interesting. As always, I list his mons from my perspective and like how I build what's most potentially the most threatening mons on his team. Of course, I put Kyurem-B at number one, even though I have decent answers to it depending on its set, but I can't counter all of its sets, potential sets. That being said, I think Kyurem-B is the number one most threatening mon. I think Conkeldurr, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Excadrill, Roserade, Snorlax, Heliolisk, Mismagius, Mesprit, and Gigalith are the most, in that order is what I fear them. I think he's going to bring the Kyurem-B, the Tapu Fini, the Roserade, the Arcanine, the Heliolisk, and the Conkeldurr. But as you can see on screen, he only brought two of those, being the Kyurem-B and the Conkeldurr. So he does bring a little bit different team. But I'm going to talk about my team. I debated 4 different teams before I ultimately decided which team I was going to go with. I debated a balanced team with Manaphy and Lucario being setup sweepers, with like Zapdos and Cofagrigus, or sometimes Florges. I had different variants of the balanced team, but ultimately it was based around Manaphy being my win condition, since he doesn't really have a switch in, but he does have 2 solid revenge killers, so I didn't want to build my team around an offensive Manaphy. Next up, I built a Trick Room, something similar to the ones where I played Eric and when I played Gypsy. Both my Trick Room teams have come out victorious, whether or not I've actually used the Trick Room during the match. We beat Eric with Trick Room team, even though we didn't click Trick Room. Or maybe we did click it once. I don't think we did though. And we beat Gypsy King with the Trick Room. So I really debated a Trick Room team based around Victini, Oranguru, and Cofagrigus, with even some with Florges and Lucario being really slow in those matches, and Banded Druddigon, since his only switch in is basically the Tapu Fini, but I do get the Gunk Shot, so I thought about that with the Sheer Force Choice Band Druddigon, but then ultimately decided that I didn't want to do balance, I didn't want to do Trick Room, so I built a hyper offensive team with Victini, Manaphy, Lucario, Sneasel, Zapdos, and Nidoqueen, but I just felt like I felt a little bit uncomfortable with it. I did some mock battles, and the team that impressed me the most in my mock battles was this semi-stall team, or whatever you want to call it. It's basically based around keeping my mons healthy, weakening his mons, and then setting up with Florges or Victini to win late game. I bring a Victini there on screen. Well, I'll just go in order. First off, I have Manaphy there, leftover set with Toxic, Scald, Rain Dance, and Rest. Toxic because Heliolisk can switch in on Scalds. Scald for basically everything else, can burn things. If Tapu Fini doesn't have its terrain up, but again, Tapu Fini is not the best answer because I could be Tail Glow with Energy Ball or something like that. Rain Dance and Rest. So I have 204 HP EVs, 252 defense EVs with the Bold Nature, and dump the rest in Special Defense, which allows me to take on like an offensive Fini and Miss Magus and Mesh Sprout a little bit better. Can take Ice Beams from Kyurem pretty well, and that's that. Basically, I can handle Conkeldurr, Arcanine, Snorlax as long as it doesn't set up on me. Excadrill is it's a decent check to Excadrill, etc., etc. Next up is going to be Zapdos, another leftover set with U-Turn, Roost, Defog, and Roar. This is pretty close to the same set I brought in our first match. It's the same moves, but I got a different EV spread because of Roserade and Heliolisk being problematic for my team. I have 124 HP EVs, and I'm Careful Nature, 244 Spadef EVs with 140 defense EVs. This thing's there to roar out the Snorlax. It's my last ditch effort to beat that thing because, if you look at my team, how do I beat a Snorlax? One that's like very fat with curses up. I can't, so I roar it out in the hope that he doesn't come down to last mon Snorlax or something like that. Or if he does, then hopefully I can use the combination of Toxic Stall and leftovers, Zapdos with pressure to PP stall it. But yeah, I'm going to hop into it. Well, I guess I can talk about Zapdos a little bit more. It can take a hit from Arcanine, Roserade really well. Checks Excadrill pretty good, especially if it's a Choice Scarf variant with locked into Iron Head or locked into Earthquake or locked into Rock Slide even, because I can pivot around pretty comfortably and basically save my check to Snorlax. And I say check even though I want to use it as a counter, but Snorlax can be so good, especially if it's the last mon and it just starts setting up. I could potentially lose just like that. So that's why I have well, you'll hear it when I go over my Shaymin set and my Florges set. So next up is my Florges set. So I have a leftover set, another leftover set. All my mons are leftovers except Victini and Nidoqueen. Leftovers, 156 HP EVs, 252 defense EVs with a Bold Nature, 8 special attack EVs, 92 speed EVs. This allows me to outspeed max speed Conkeldurr. Wish, Protect, to kind of, throw off that I'm kind of a cleric kind of set when actually I'm an offensive set with Moonblast and Calm Mind. So my thought process behind this was I can weaken Excadrill and Moonblast, Calm Mind can win. If I have my Wish, Protect set up in the right scenario, I can win if I get enough Calm Minds up and I get, Rocks up, Arcanine's weakened, Excadrill's weakened, and then I guess even to an extent Roserade needs to be weakened as well. But he doesn't bring those two, he only brings Excadrill. So when I looked at Team Preview, I was like, holy shit, Florges can put in some work. So I am Moonblast, Calm Mind, can set up Calm Minds on something, maybe like if something's locked into something, or Kyurem-Black's, if I can gauge its damage so I know its sets and stuff like that. Heliolisk, I can set up on Heliolisk, I can set up on maybe like if Roserade Scarf to be a revenge killer for Manaphy or Tapu Fini or something like that. I figured that I could set up Calm Minds and maybe even on Gigalith, because I can Wish, Protect and then Calm Mind up on him while he can't really do much back to me. So that was my thought process behind Florges. Is it can be a really good win condition in this match, and I really like Florges. It hasn't got that many kills this season, so I was really hoping to be able to use it offensively here in the later part of the seasons. Next up is Shaymin. I have a defensive Shaymin to kind of check. This is my Excadrill counter. As long as it's not like Swords Dance Life Orb, I can take any 2 hits as long as it doesn't have Swords Dance up. But again, I can play around. I can play around the sets and kind of check it to an extent. Leftovers, Substitute, Leech Seed, Synthesis, and Aromatherapy. I have no attacking moves. Leech Seed plus Synthesis and Substitute is supposed to wear my opponent down. 204 HP EVs, makes me really, really bulky. 212 defense with a bold nature. Allows me to take on Excadrill. Can't be like, I can be 2-hit KO'd, but in the combination of Leftovers and Leech Seed, I can potentially scare him. So that's that. I have Aromatherapy because I needed a cleric on the team. He did paralyze me with the Mesh Sprout last game, and it it bothered me. It bothered me. So if he was running Toxic or Thunder Wave or Scald on top of Feeny, I wanted to be able to. I know Misty Terrain exists, but it only lasts for 5 turns. So Scald could potentially burn me, and if it did, I wanted to be able to get rid of that. So yeah, fuck. I'm sick. I'm really sick. Shaymin's a really good check to Conkeldurr as well. It's really, really defensive. He'd have to be like Sheer Force Life Orb to be able to 2-hit KO me, and even then, like I'm still pretty comfortable because like I can pivot around and like I guess the word is I can definitely pivot around. Like I would have to check his entire moveset before I felt comfortable on which mon was going to do the best, to be his best check. Like I said, Conkeldurr is top 2 threatening mons on his team in my opinion. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm rambling a little bit, so I'm going to get on into Victini here. I got a Trick Room Victini with Weakness Policy. A Brave Nature, 252 attack EVs, 124 HP EVs, 72 defense EVs, 60 special defense EVs with Trick Room, V-Create, Bolt Strike, and Rest. What this allows me to do is I can take hits from pretty much anything, even after a V-Create defense drop. I can live any 1 hit as long as something's not extraordinarily powerful, like a Banded Outrage from Kyurem-B, or like a Life Orb or Specs Tapu Fini, or even Arcanine or Conkeldurr, or maybe even like a Banded Snorlax, even though I mostly expect a Curse-like set, but any set of Snorlax can be threatening. So I can live any 1 hit, and I can, even if I'm whittled down, not extremely low, but if I'm above half, I can take some hits from like Roserade, and like if Snorlax isn't too offensive and hasn't set up or anything like that, I can take a hit from that. I can take a hit from the Mesh Sprout. I can take a hit from the Tapu Fini, as long as it's not like super powerful, super offensive or something like that. And I can get my Trick Room up. I can take a super effective hit and get a Weakness Policy boost, and I can use V-Create. Spam V-Create. It basically got a Swords Dance up and spam V-Create with a Adamant Nature, a Brave Nature, plus Attack Nature with 252 EVs in attack. So these V-Creates are hitting extremely hard. I'm getting slower every turn, so he doesn't have anything that can take it, that can come in and outspeed me under the Trick Room. And I wanted to pack Focus Blast for the Snorlax because at +2, it's always after a V-Create, it always Okos. I think that was my calcs. If I got a Weakness Policy boost, he comes in on a V-Create, and I'm pretty sure he gets knocked out by a Focus Blast right after that. I'm pretty sure that was my calcs. Could be mistaken, but I did opt to run Rest over Focus Blast because if it was late game and I hadn't got a V-Create off yet, I just got my Trick Room up, and I've maybe thrown off a Bolt Strike or something on the top of Feeny, and then something else comes in that can revenge kill me, and the timer's really low because, I ain't bringing a Stallish-like team here. Very, very fat mons here with the ability to recover and weaken his teams at the same time. So I wanted to be able to throw off like a last minute rest. Say it was, for example, let's say it was Kyurem Black and Victini as the last two mons, and I get a Trick Room up. I kill Tapu Fini. He brings in last mon Kyurem. I can attack him, and he kills me. Or I can go for, like if I click V-Create and then he attacked me, my defense drops would allow him to kill me depending on how high my HP was and what set he was. And if he's choice banded, then I'm most likely going to die regardless of if I've went for V-Create yet. So I could click Bulk Strike, get a little chip damage off on him while he does a hell of a lot of damage to me. The timer's ticking low and there's like a minute left or 45 seconds left or something. I can click rest and get all my HP back. I went over this with a couple friends. Like I said, I had a couple mock battles, and I went over this with my good friend Blue Victini, Sebastian, or he goes by Sebi VGC now. So I went over my prep with him and told him that this wasn't my best way to win, but this was most certainly my safest way to win, was with a stall-like team. And yeah, my last mon's going to be Niddle Queen with dual hazards, Stealth Rock and Toxic Spikes, Earthquake and Poison Jab. I am a careful nature, 252 HP, 76 defense, and 180 special defense with a careful nature and the air balloon and sheer force. So I'm not offensive, but sheer force always makes you offensive in a way. It's like you got a life orb. And I do have the air balloon, so I can set up my hazards first turn if he leads with Excadrill. I can dodge the earthquakes from Mamoswine. If he predicts me to switch out to my Victini on an Ice Beam and I stay in with my Niddle Queen and he goes for Earth Power, I'm safe there as well. And basically my plan here was to get my hazards up as quickly as possible and keep his hazards off the field so that, I bring 2 mons weak to rocks. I don't want to take rock damage all the damn time. So I do bring Defog Zapdos. But yeah, I bring Hazard Stack on his side so that he's forced to spin or defog depending on what he brings. And he does bring the Excadrill, his only way to remove hazards. And he does have 3 grounded mons that are affected by Toxic Spikes. So I figured if I toxic all of his mons and use Manaphy to toxic things that can't be, that don't touch the ground, and it checks Excadrill, and Shaymin also checks Excadrill, then I would be in a decent position. Anyways, I've rambled a fucking enough. Let's jump into the battle here and go over what's going on here. So he brings Kyurem Black, Conkeldurr, Mesprit, Mismagius, Snorlax, and the Excadrill. So we'll go ahead and hop into the battle here. And see what's going on. So he leads Kyurem, and I lead Manaphy, so that if he did lead with Kyurem, predicting my Niddle Queen lead, that I could handily, take on Kyurem. I am max defense here. The only way he could come close to knocking me out was with like a Fusion Bolt, Banded Fusion Bolt crit, or maybe like an Electrium Z hit or something like that. With I don't know if he need a crit with the Electrium Z. Fucking Z moves are powerful. But I'll throw off a Toxic Curious. He goes out for looks like a banded Outrage. I did some calcs here, and it says it's probably banded. So here I know that he's locked into Outrage, and he's getting whittled down. He did get a huge chunk off on my Manaphy though, but I do have the ability to Wish Pass. So I'm going to save my Manaphy. I'm going to save all my mons all matches long. He's going to go for the Outrage again here because he is locked into it, I do believe. Well, he's locked into Outrage regardless, even if he's not banded, because Outrage does that. But here he is, he becomes confused, I believe. He's going to switch out, as I'm going to predict him to go into Excadrill. I'm also going to make a double switch here. Pretty aggressive play right off the bat for me, but it was a pretty obvious play here. He was most certainly going to go into his Excadrill on my... anything he went into there, Shaymin was fine to come in on. As long as Kyurem didn't stay in. Here, I'm just going to go for the simple substitute, I believe, because I don't know what his answer is going to be to this. So I wanted to go ahead and get my substitute up so I could just be behind the sub and safely go for my next move. And yeah, I do get my leftovers back here, and I'm going to throw off a Leech Seed. and now he's gonna use body slam to break my sub. And I did some calcs here. If he's okay, so he has to be very, very offensive to break my sub with body slam. Has to be, well, very attack invested, I should say. So yeah, I guess that means he's offensive. Snorlax can't really be fast anyway. So I do know that he is very offensive here. He's most likely going to switch out here, but I can just go for the substitute again because I don't really know his entire set yet. So if he does go for the curse or something, I would be behind the sub, get my leech seed and leftovers back here, and then I could swap into Zapdos hard. But I would anyway, just so he couldn't get too much damage off if he wanted to go for something else and catch me off guard again. Not that body slam caught me off guard or something, but if he caught me off guard, then I would be in a predicament, and I don't want to be. So I'm just going to throw off a leech seed here, catch the Conkeldurr with the leech seed, and now he's taking a little bit of chip damage on all of his mons so far. Well, three of his 6 because of the leech seed and the toxic on the Kyurem, the leech seed on the Conkeldurr and the Snorlax. And with this Conkeldurr, I'm going to have quite a few mind games here, predicting the sub, the knockoff, the etc. Now, if he's like max attack, assault vest here, this is a roll, which is the reason I keep going for this. But if he's like sheer force, life orb or something, it's most definitely not a roll. But I don't know his set, so on the off chance that one of the knockoffs or drain punches don't break my sub, then I would be a lot more comfortable. So I'm gonna go for another sub here, as he broke my sub and he is leech seeded. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. And he brings in the Mismagius. So this tells me that it probably has taunt. It could be Nasty Plot 3 attacks, but most likely it has taunt. I don't have a ghost resist outside of Sneasel, and its defenses aren't that great. So this thing could plow through my team if it's Nasty Plot 1 attack or a substitute Nasty Plot or something like that. He's gonna taunt me. And I accidentally clicked a move here. I didn't mean to click a move here. I meant to swap out. But I guess it's fine because it doesn't really hurt me that bad, as I can stay in here. And I'm actually going to opt to struggle on this following turn because I don't really have a switch into Conkeldurr, and on the following turn the taunt will wear off and I can recover. So in a sense, I guess this kind of did help me. But my play was to go out to Zapdos on the Mismagius in case it went for Nasty Plot after the taunt. But we're okay here. Now we can recover up, as he has revealed that his most likely play would be Drain Punch or Knockoff. So I'm going to Synthesis up here. I don't really mind my leftovers getting knocked off because I do have Synthesis and Leech Seed. So I'm going to allow him to reveal his moveset here. He goes for the Ice Punch, and I'm like, God damn, that's Choice Band, but it reveals to be a critical hit. I was like, how is he so powerful when he's swapping up his moves? Because even Life Orb, Sheer Force, Ice Punch doesn't do that much. Even if he's very, very offensive, it should do like a maximum of like 50% or something like that. So I'm going to Synthesis up here and get my HP back in a decent position here. And then I can throw off a Leech Seed here in a sec. So he goes for the Drain Punch. Probably going to swap back and forth on what moves he's actually going to go for. Like I said, mind games here. And my Shaymin's my girl. She's like, Shaymin's my girl. Did wonders in week 13. And it's going to do me well here as well, in my opinion. And I did the calcs for Ice Punch and the Mach Punch, and it doesn't kill from the range I will be at after I get my leftovers and my Leech Seed back. So I opted to just go for the Synthesis here again, because I know he can't knock me out with the Mach Punch. There's no reason that he would really want to switch out anyway. Go for the Mach Punch anyway, so I would just click Synthesis. So he hard switches into Mismagius again. Probably going to click Taunt he actually pulls a double here, predicting me to switch out. So he gets this play right, as obviously I had to switch out because I couldn't attack him, but I could have went for a move like a leak seed or something, I guess, to see if he was taunting me, knowing that he had taunt, that I probably would switch out. So I guess he made a fine read there. One of the more aggressive plays in the match, even though this game's kind of passive. He's going to be able to go out into his mesh route and get his rocks up as I go into my Zapdos and U-turn out. So as he gets his rocks up here, I'm fine with just throwing off a leak seed or something here to see what he wants to switch into my Shaymin again. I'm going to let Shaymin do as much work as it can, and then just, you know, kind of like I did with my Manaphy. I'm going to be reluctant to switch because I can take any hit, I can take boost off the damages and stuff like that. The only move I don't want to take is something from Kyurem-B. So otherwise, I'm pretty comfortable here. Kekelder has revealed Drain Punch, Knockoff, and Ice Punch. Kyurem has revealed Outrage and that it's most likely choice banded. Meshbright has revealed Stealth Rocks, and Miss Magius has revealed Taunt. Snorlax has revealed Body Slam, and I think that's it so far. I think Excadrill hasn't hit the field yet. He's going to go for the Drain Punch here, break my substitute, as I can probably just throw off a, or I probably set up a sub, throw off a leak seed there, get my HP back with the leftovers, get my HP back with the leak seed. Pretty comfortable with doing this. Can go for the substitute here, can go for the leak seed, predicting him to switch. A lot of different options I have, and I am going to throw off a leak seed, predicting him to go into the Miss Magius on my substitute, knowing that I don't have any attacking moves. He could have most certainly did that. I do get it wrong. He gets quite a bit of his HP back, but like I said, Shaymin is just so fat. I'm near max defense for the Excadrill, so I'm pretty happy with this so far. Even though I really need to get rocks off the field, and I need to get a wish past the Manaphy, and I need to get my own rocks up. That's what I need right now. So I'm working my way into being in a position where I can do that, so that later in the game, Excadrill's forced to spin or something, so that Kyurem-B can come in and click Outrage once, once he can eliminate my threats, like Florges and Manaphy. He can just spam Outrage, and it basically gets a kill every time it comes in, outside of Manaphy and Shaymin, and obviously Florges. But most likely kills Zapdos after rocks, kills Nidoqueen one hit. Most likely can kill Victini after rocks. So I need to get rocks off the field, get my rocks up, maybe even get my Toxic Spikes up. Need to pressure his Driller a little bit so I can get Florges in and start taking lives with the calm mindset that I do bring. We do get into a position here where he doesn't want to. So right now he doesn't know my Zapdos set. He doesn't know my Zapdos set. Yeah, I could be Choice Scarf. I did bring Choice Scarf last week against Nick with U-turn, and here so far I've just revealed U-turn. Didn't want to reveal Defog there just in case he went for the taunt, and he brings in the Snorlax here, and so I'm going to click. What do I click here? Do I click? No, okay, I decided that I can't get my rocks up here, so I'm going to switch into. I could get my rocks up, but I'm going to have to defog them away. So I don't want to get my hazards up yet because I want to go into Zapdos and get these rocks away first. I was on an air balloon, and he goes for the earthquake here. He must have not seen my air balloon. So at this point, I was like, hell yeah, I can use this to my advantage later in the match. If he's Choice Scarf Excadrill and he's locked into earthquake, I can switch into Nidoqueen, and I will take no damage. And then I can set up rocks. I can set up Toxic Spikes. I can click earthquake. I can click Poison Jab. I can do whatever I want. Predicted him to switch because he doesn't know. At this point, he doesn't know that I'm air ballooned, or he must have not have saw it. So I am able to defog the rocks away, but he goes for the Toxic here. Now I'm going to make another play here. He's going to click Earthquake, predicting my Roost, which is fine play. What can I do to Snorlax? I've revealed U-turn, leftovers, and defog. Probably don't have much to hurt a Snorlax with if I'm not offensive. I'm going to hard switch out here. I could have U-turned out. Probably my better play in my opinion. But I am going to just U-turn or just hard switch out into Shaymin, predicting the if he goes for anything, it's probably going to be Earthquake trying to catch me on my roost, and you're going to see this. That Earthquake did nothing. So maybe he got a high roll earlier on the body slam to break my sub, so I can sub up or something here. I can click lead seed. A couple different things I can do here. He's going to withdraw the Snorlax and go into the Conkeldurr, and I believe, I just throw off a lead seed here, just in case he went to the Mismagius first. I wanted to get a lead seed off on that. So after my leftovers and my lead seed recovery here, I can just go for another lead seed, predicting him to go to Mismagius on maybe a substitute or something like that, something along those lines. But I'm just going to throw off aromatherapy to get rid of Zapdos's toxic poison, as he goes for the knockoff finally. So it catches me right there with the knockoff, but now knockoff can't break my sub at all. So that's really good for me. But since I do have Synthesis and the lead seed, I don't really mind my leftovers being gone. I'm going to throw off another lead seed there trying to catch the Mismagius, but I can't catch it. This is where Seed Flare would have came in to play pretty good for me. He gets a crit there. I didn't actually notice that in the match, so I'm just now seeing that crit there. So there has been 2 crits so far, both from Conkeldurr onto my Shaymin with an Ice Punch and a Drain Punch. He's going to switch out here, as I almost made the play of throwing off a lead seed here, but I needed my recovery back. Like I said, I'm trying to win this at least by timer stall, or at least by putting him in a position where that he has to his mons will all be so weak that Trick Room Victini can sweep. That's the plan. Either Trick Room Victini sweeps or Calm Mind Florges sweeps. So I'm going to throw off a lead seed here in case he didn't taunt, in case he attacked me, predicting his taunt, predicting me to switch or something like that. But he actually goes for the nasty plot. It's pretty damn scary right here. So I'm going to switch out to my Florges. This thing is a fucking tank. So if he goes for the Shadow Ball here, I live 100%. He can't 2-hit KO me, even from that range. He goes actually for another nasty plot. So really, really, really solid here. I am going to be able to get some lead seed recovery back there. I'm going to click Protect or Wish here on his Excadrill switch in. I think I clicked Protect because I wanted a little bit more leftovers back, and I decided that even if he got to +6, I had a chance to live. So anyways, he goes into Excadrill. I'm going to go hard into Zapdos, as he actually goes for the Iron Head. It's not going to do too much here. It is going to reveal that it could be Choice Banded damage, because it did a little too much. If it's Choice Scarf Adamant, it should only do around 24% or so, 25% at max. It looked like it did like 30%, 31, 32% or something like that. So I was a little worried there. I'm not going to Roost here because he could have went for the Earthquake, but he would have to be extremely slow. So I could have potentially roosted there, but I wanted to U-turn out in case I did roost and he went out to Kyurem-B. He would have a free Ice Beam there. So I'm going to U-turn out into Florges here as he goes into the Kyurem, like I said. And now he's forced out because even if he's Choice Banded, I'll take an Iron Head, no problem. He's going to switch out into Excadrill, as I'm going to throw up a Wish here. And at this point, I can throw off a Wish to Zapdos or Manaphy. So I'm going to predict him to go for either the Earthquake or the Rock Slide. And I'm going to click Calm Mind. Calm Mind here. Keep things interesting here with a more aggressive play. Even though most of the game I have played passively, it's hard to play an entire game passively. So here I'm going to throw off a Moonblast just to get a little chip if he wanted to stay in. Get a little chip if he wanted to switch out, and kind of gauge the damage on how much this is going to be doing. Looks like a 4-hit KO at Snorlax. So I'm able to, I can throw up another Calm Mind here, or I can just Moonblast again. I'm going for the Moonblast because it does look like a roll. But yeah, I ultimately think it would be a 4-hit KO. he's going to be able to toxic me here, which I have shown aromatherapy here already, so I didn't expect the toxic again. But yeah, solid play, solid play. I can just click Moonblast once again, or at this point I can click Wish Protect, Calm Mind, and Moonblast. They have all been revealed so far. So here I do believe I just throw off a Wish. See what he wants to do here. Now here my play is to go into Manaphy, predicting the Iron Head, or to go into Zapdos, predicting the Iron Head or the Earthquake. Either or, I was pretty happy with just making another aggressive play here. Well, maybe not so aggressive, but you know, allowing Toxic to whittle me down. So in a sense, to my game plan, this was an aggressive play. I could click Moonblast after this because I know Earthquake can't knock me out. And I'm going to predict him to predict me to go into Shaymin or Zapdos. So I'm going to stay in, and he actually stays in. Doesn't predict me to go into anything. He's got to make some plays here, and he goes for the Earthquake because I'm just going to throw off a Moonblast here. It's not going to do that much, but it's going to do enough to where I'm happy. Almost half, so extremely happy with that. But the thing is now, Florges is really, really weakened to the point where, as you see, I'm at 10 HP here after the poison damage plus the earthquake damage. He's going to switch out here, switch his extra drill out. Now, had I Moonblast there, that would have been fine, but I would have died on the following turn, so I didn't want to lose another Mon. Lose a Mon at all. And I knew I could wish up later in the match. Now, knowing that he was locked into Earthquake, I went into Nidoqueen as he actually pulled a double into Mismagius, and predicted him to not let me get rocks up or any kind of hazards. So I went straight for the poison jab as he went for the taunt like I predicted, and now I'm going to force him out. And I actually predicted switch into Excadrill, so I clicked the Earthquake, and he actually goes into the Kyurem. So had I had rocks up earlier in the match, I would be in a pretty good position here, as this thing would be gone. But here the timer ran out. I didn't get to pick my move, and Kyurem is ultimately able to knock me out. But it's actually going to go in my favor because Nidoqueen, while it was really important for the match, it was one of my only Mons without the ability to recover. So here, Kyurem Black is locked into Outrage. I can bring in my Florges, throw up a Wish, get my leftovers back, be out of range of Toxic, and then catch the Wish on the following turn, allowing me to get my HP back. So losing Nidoqueen kind of sucked because I didn't plan on it. I guess I could have sacked Manaphy there, but like I said, Manaphy has rest, so I can always get my HP back on Manaphy as well. And as you can see here, Florges can get its health back as well. Now here I'm going to click my Protect, see what kind of move he locks himself into. Most likely Iron Head. I don't know if he's locked yet though. I don't know 100%. I'm inclined to believe that he is because of the rock side play, but I don't know 100%, so I'm just going to throw off a Protect there, get my Wish back. He does go for the Iron Head, so I'm able to go out into my Zapdos, and since rocks are gone, I can take two. Live on a Sliver. I definitely take two though, 100% take two after leftovers recovery, and I can roost up. Afterwards. As you can see, that after leftovers, it can't be a 2-hit KO with two exact rolls the same way. I don't think he can get a knockout here. My calc said he couldn't. My calc said I would live, and so I click Roost here, praying that he didn't get a crit, praying that he didn't get a flinch, and I'm going to Roost up here. Going to be able to Roost up, get all my HP back. His most threatening Mon is gone. Kyurem's gone, so I don't have to worry about something coming in on my Roost and taking advantage of that. I can just Roost up and be happy with that. Unfortunately, I cannot set up my own rocks because my Nidoqueen went down, and I can't set up my Toxic Spikes because, again, my Nidoqueen went down. So, Here, I'm just going to get all my HP back. We're getting pretty far into the match at this point. As I can U-turn out here on the Snorlax, get a little more chip damage, and I can go into my Shaymin, I do believe. Because Shaymin is, well, you know, my fattest mon. I guess it's not my fattest mon, but right now, it can take on anything he's got to throw at me. Because the Kyurem is gone and I don't fear any ice type attacks, and that's just about it. So I can throw off a lead seed, I can throw off a substitute, but I'm going to predict him to switch out here, and he actually does. Goes out into the Conkeldurr though, so not exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting the Mismagius to come out, and here was where I was going to set up my Trick Room. I was going to allow him to hit me with a Shadow Ball as I set up Trick Room. My weakness policy would activate, and then I click V-Create, you know, over and over and over, and win. That is if I'm slower than the Snorlax. But I did not know for sure. Did not know if I would be slower even after this Trick Room, or after this V-Create, since my speed was dropped. I didn't know if I would be slower. I didn't want to risk it. Didn't know if I'd be faster either, so I still didn't want to risk it because he could have some speed investment for some of my slower mons. So I'm going to switch out here as he goes for the Body Slam. Now that's unfortunate because I predicted the Earthquake to catch my Victini, but he goes for the Body Slam and gets a para on my Shaymin. Very frustrating. Shaymin can't catch a damn break. Gets crit twice and fucking now gets paralyzed. But I'm going to throw off a Synthesis here on the Mismagius. And here the timer said, I think, after these animations, the timer had, I think, 93 seconds left. And the turn timer had 99 seconds left. So I had 6 seconds to spare, knowing that after turn 69 of this match and after 60 minutes that I would be victorious because I had Victini, Shaymin, and Zapdos were all at full. Manaphy was at, you know, just like a 30%, and Florges was around just under half, or right around half, and his highest HP mon was Meshbright at around full. I think it had took maybe a U-turn from Zapdos, which wasn't very powerful. Excadrill was at half. Conkeldurr was around half, maybe a little above. Snorlax was, you know, below 25%. Mismagius was around half. So at that point, all I had to do was wait 90 seconds, or 93 seconds or something like that, 99 seconds, something weird, and I knew the game would be mine at a 5-5 timer stall. It was, like I said, a 60-minute battle. I'm really sad that Florges didn't get to come through, and also sad that I didn't make the play with Victini to see if he was faster than the Snorlax. Grab the extra kill as I think he swapped out and went into the no, he went straight for the Body Slam, so I could have knocked him out, or I could have went for the Trick Room, or he was predicting me to be weakness policy and didn't want to go for the Earthquake. But either way, I could have maybe taken Snorlax out there at the end, but I didn't want to risk it and lose my Victini, and then him have 5 and me have 4, and then him win the game. So we are going to come away with the victory here, and we're going to move on to the finals of the International Trainers League, and we're going to face either Gypsy King, coach of the Sydney Sharpedos, or Trevor, aka Sheer Force, coach of the Long Island Gold Ducks. That being said, leave a like if you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.